ToonGrin.com.
As an animation reviewer on the World Wide Web, I watch a lot of animated content, from shows, movies, short films, even shorter bumpers and anything in between. I have witnessed a massive variety of content in a multitude of various contexts, scope, and magnitude of visual, sound, and writing quality. But no matter how often we are wowed by the expensive world animation cast, or have our heartstrings tugged by the emotional resonance it could bring, surrounding the medium is the same constant question that both epitomizes what animation started from and where animation still is now. And I, as the inquisitive Whyboy here, thought that every once in a while, I give my answer to some of these questions to get my brain meats working, and maybe give you all something to think about. So I have to ask, is animation just for kids? No. See you next time! I kid, obviously, but the inquisitive boy in me frankly finds the answer should be clear and blunt as that, as in my opinion, it's so obvious that equalizing animation with just kid stuff crams it in a societal box that puts animation down. We see many figures in the media and in daily life downplay animation because it's, quote, just for kids. Like a certain video reviewer who began his career speaking of how much smarter children are and we need to add intelligence to their work, but now spouts crap like,
"It's pretty awkward, clumsy, and all over the place, but then again, it's clearly meant for little kids. There is enough creativity in the ideas and some of the designs that I guess it's innocent enough. Definitely won't hold any adults or older kids' attention, but for younger children, it's totally fine."
Why would that excuse anything about the issues you brought up in the animated movie? Even if it is for kids, how can that fact brush away arguably valid criticisms? Do kids just deserve lower quality movies? Because they're kids? It's one of my biggest pet peeves hearing movies, especially animated ones, excused like that. However, I would like to make it clear, I'm not coming from an angle on this question where I'm awestruck by the value and weight of the animated art form and what it has to hold. It is true, I do admire animation to a great extent, obviously. Most of my earliest memories are filled with me endlessly viewing animated shows off of Family Channel, Teletoon, and YTV. So I am endlessly infatuated with animation. You're kinda watching the culmination of that right now here on ToonGrin.com. But none of that has anything to do with why I think animation is not just for children. To put it simply, asking if animation is just for children is to me like asking if photography is just for shutterbugs, or video games just for gamers, books just for bookworms, and so on and so forth. It is just a closed-minded way to approach it, making such a declarative question as if only one group is majorly partaking in a certain medium. And even if that were the case, it frames it in that if you are not part of that majority, you're an oddity in whatever you just happen to enjoy. You freak. Comic books and video games have had that same rap for many years. News outlets and the general populace would put each medium in a simple gamer, geek, or for children box. So it would be easier to mentally discredit both as a lower form of entertainment and its fans just fat middle-aged basement-dwelling dudes. Or in more extreme cases, for people to consider so awful and evil that they corrupt our youth and cause real-world violence and deserve to be destroyed in book burnings. Watch out for that copy of Superman 55 may give little Tommy that inkling that more people than Superman can be a hero. Oh, the horrors of comics! Thankfully for video games and comics, they both grew more general audience admiration over the years and in turn became cool and normal in the mass market. However, for animation, it still struggles, still stuck under its own label, and there is no sign of that changing anytime soon. What I mean by that is animation has been split down the middle to mean two separate things. The literal definition of animation being the state of being full of life and vigor, and the common misconception of being an entire genre, aka children's entertainment. This isn't to denounce all of the great children's shows that just so happen to be animated. Shows like The Amazing World of Gumball, SpongeBob SquarePants, and DuckTales all have garnered immense praise and ratings for their writing, art style, and humor. They just so happen to be for kids. But I think it's abundantly clear that these animated shows wouldn't be put beside, say, Rick and Morty, South Park, and Archer Like animation were just one big samey family, all coalesced together despite the difference in content, art style used, and writing exhibited. Animation on a surface level is presented as all the same. That is my issue when asking it's animation just for children. It poses the question as if animation and thus the entire library of animated movies and shows are all included and interchangeable in the entire broad genre of animation. Animation is not a genre, it is a form of producing content. That is why we have various styles of animation, like traditional, 3D, stop motion, motion graphic, and flash. It's not a singular concept that you can use to nail the whole spectrum of content as equivalent. It's the branching path of development, the behind the scenes questioning of what is the best method to convey the purpose of the project you are producing. It's the deliberation of deciding how to produce a Disney, DreamWorks, and Point Grey Pictures movie into family classics, faithful adaptations, or self-aware raunchy adult comedies. Bottom line, a lot of children adore animation. Clearly from the continued presence of cartoons evolving from the bouncy days of the 30s to the present cartoons of the 2010s, children aren't going to stop watching and enjoying these rapidly moving pictures. But it is worth remembering though, that while children love these early Disney, Silly Symphony, and Terrytoon cartoons, watching them starry-eyed in the old theaters, it was the parents and adults who were the majority to spend their money to view them and fund the advancement and evolution of animation. And the reason that adults can enjoy the childlike wonder found in a Disney, Pixar, or DreamWorks animated movie is because that writing and presentation struck a chord with them too. It isn't solely because the property just so happened to be animated, but should we really diminish the connection these people get by brushing it off as they're liking something for kids? Or should we actually discuss the merit that goes into producing high quality and diverse work in the animated field? Thankfully, in many ways, the question of if animation is just for kids has died down to the new variety of animation coming from all new origins. Amazing and distinctive cartoons from YouTube animators, the animated movies and shows crowdfunded online, and production companies like Netflix putting down money to produce adult and children demographic content that aren't pigeonholed by TV network standards. Not to mention a new wave of shows and movies coming from the kids who grew up watching classic cartoons and are ready to spread their talent to new generations of animation fans. That is the variety that animation holds. When it is not in the genre box of animation or holding the label of children's entertainment, the animated art form can become whatever the creative behind it desires. Is animation just for kids? It is. And for anyone else who loves animation too. But that's just my take on our current perception of animation. Do you have a different outlook on animation and children's entertainment? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and maybe more editorials like this will come in the future. Also want to give a special thanks to fellow video reviewer SABERSPARK, who not only was as funny and interesting editorials inspired this video, but is giving a shout out to it during his review of Dinosaur Island. You know, another classic done by Rhapsody Street Kids team. Be sure to click the link on screen or in the description below, and show him how awesome he is and how awesome his review is. With that said, until next time, thank you for watching, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to tune in to ToonGrin. See ya!